Woo! Baby, we are back on another episode of the Dirty and Driven Podcast. My name is James DeVinny, and I am your host on today's episode. We got a little bit of a day late Memorial Day episode, a lot of fun stories, a lot of crazy announcements. Today we're talking about the official Bluecollar beer. Later on in the show, we're talking about meth. We're talking about some other great things, and we're going to end it on a fun topic that will hopefully benefit you in some way, shape, or form. This is the show where we bring people to the blue-collar world and teach them how to kick ass. Maybe you're already in the blue-collar world and you want to become an ass kicker. Maybe you're already an ass kicker. We're going to teach you how to kick more ass. Maybe you can teach us how to kick ass. I don't know. Our goal here is to gain, train, and retain solid, hardworking individuals in the trades. And I'm joined today by the man who is number one when it comes to number two. The man with American pride stenciled on his shirt. The man who just got done working on this Monday that we're recording, Memorial Day Monday. The man who's been shipping oil across the country so that all of us can buy overpriced gasoline and drive down the road. I'm talking about the one, the only, the legendary Casey D.
How are you?
Show me the money.
I'm shipping finished product. I'm not shipping crude oil.
Sorry. You're shipping gasoline, diesel?
Yeah, it's all refined product.
Yeah.
Pretty much good enough to go in a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, actually, James.
We just talked about semantics. See, earlier,
Yeah.
I just did the semantics with you now.
Yeah, you did it right before we started the show. Dude, don't get me on fucking technicality.
Yeah. Kind of like when I talked to you about, you're my bitumen to my, what was it? Aggregate?
Yeah, the bitumen.
No.
You're bitumen.
No. Yeah, you're my bitch. You're my bitumen to my aggregate. Did you like that? Because I made it asphalt
Yeah.
related.
It's
I thought it was ingenious.
Beautiful. The bitumen
My
to my
bitch.
aggregate.
Yeah.
My bitch.
I don't know if I saved it or not, but did you see I saved another turtle yesterday?
I did, man. How many is that up to just for the spring?
Well, there's been some that I had to pass by, but this is the second snapping turtle. This was a little bigger than the
That
last
was
one.
a big turtle, man. I didn't realize how big it was until you picked it up.
It's pretty good size.
So is turtle meat good?
From what I remember, yeah, whenever we used to have turtle stew and stuff.
Okay. I was listening to a podcast earlier and somebody said, man, I don't know why you'd ever eat turtle meat. That's some nasty stuff.
Nah.
I don't know.
Potato,
They said that those turtles just stink. To get that stank out, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, but like I told you on one of the previous ones, my dad would take the turtles that we'd get out of ponds or rivers or whatever, then he'd put them in a holding tank with fresh water. In a few days, keep changing the water out, and hopefully that was in hopes to somewhat clean some of the taste out of their meat. But then,
but I guess anything tastes good in a stew. It's hard to fuck up stew.
Yeah, dude, yeah. And did you know how we clean the turtles? Like,
No,
cut them up?
I don't know.
So what we do is those turtles, because they snapped my finger when I was little, and it was a bad deal. My brother still remembers it to this day, and so do I. But what you do is you want to get rid of the lethal weapon, right? Which is its snapper, its mouth. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you have them bite your pliers. You put a pair of pliers down there, and they'll snap at your pliers. Then hopefully right when they bite, you're standing on their back. Then you take those pliers and you pull their head out real far. Then you take a hatchet or a knife and cut their neck off.
Oh, geez.
I think I might have told you the story, but then you throw their head in a bucket. So then when you cut their legs off and stuff, and you get the meat cleaned off, you can cut the legs off and even the head, and even for 30 minutes or an hour or so after that, the snapper will still bite you, and the claws will still retract and do this stuff.
Really?
Yeah, the same as
both parts of the body will still work for a little while.
Yes, the same as like with bullfrogs. If you ever clean bullfrogs and cut their legs off and stuff, I mean, bullfrogs' legs will still, do the nerves in them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I didn't know that that's how you did that. Maybe you've told me, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, but the older I get, I mean, if I have to, there's a lot of work cleaning turtles. And plus, I've got that one I named. I'm getting kind of softy in my older age.
Yeah, you've got your African tortoise.
Yeah, I don't want to just go and keep murdering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that unless if I have to.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I've been consciously not. I'm never one to run over a turtle intentionally, but I've been really trying hard to do it. The only turtles I ever see are on really busy roads, though, so it'd be kind of dangerous for me to get out to save them.
Yeah, I did. So you normally pick them up by their tails.
Yeah.
That's the safest spot. And you got to get high up, way up there on the old rooter, And whenever I did, and I was lifting the turtle up, taking it over to the ditch, I could hear kind of like the back popping, like when you pop your back, your vertebrae goes. You can kind of feel a few of the I don't know if it's the vertebrae, but it's the bones in the tail going kind of like I was popping his back a little bit, but popping the tail.
Did you send him a bill for chiropractic? Does he have a turtle care insurance?
It's like, man, that sciatica, man, it's taken care of.
Yeah. No more turtle sciatica. Yeah. Oh, no, dude, that's good. That's good. I've had a few listeners reach out and tell me that, they've been saving the turtles out there. So it's catching on. You're fighting the good fight and they're paying attention.
There we go.
There you go. Turtles everywhere. Now, all of a sudden, there's going to be an overpopulation of turtles because of the Dirty and Driven podcast. Yeah. Everybody's going out saving the turtles and it's just they're all going to start starving to death. They're going to run out of food.
I'm doing that, but I still got that tattoo of my dad holding a knife to a turtle's neck on my shoulder. So
that's all right, man. That's all right.
Got the good wolf on one shoulder and the bad wolf on the other.
The old turtle, man. I like that song you posted on TikTok about your turtle the other day. That's not a turtle, that's a tortoise.
Is that what it was?
Something like that.
I listened to it for a sec and I was like, hey, this is kind of catchy.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, we just, we're recording on Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day weekend, 2024. And I just want to say, it's always a fun weekend of like partying, drinking, hanging out, seeing your family, all that, which I think is great. I do just want to throw that gentle plug in there that the reason we have Memorial Day and the reason that we celebrate it is for those who have fought and died for our freedoms. So if you know anyone that was in that position, if you have a family member like that, anything of that sort, just want to say that we appreciate y'all and we appreciate the sacrifices made by those that went through that.
Good note. I remember a year ago when we recorded, I had that keyboard app on my phone, real cheese dicky one.
Yeah.
And I tried to play it and
you tried to play Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
No, it was All Gave or Some Gave All by Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, that's right.
All gave some.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Flashbacks.
Isn't that the one that didn't record? Or did that one end up airing?
Yep. I think
remember we had one last Memorial Day. It didn't record and we were like,
oh man. It could have been.
It could have been 2 years. I don't know.
It's been a while.
I don't know. But the second annual.
You're getting better at hitting the record button, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot better, fancier, more sophisticated equipment. So it's a lot easier now. It's a lot more foolproof.
Yeah.
To do this stuff. Anyways, wanted to say, with Memorial Day comes the annual second year running Dirty and Driven official beer of the Bluecollar tournament. And I just want to get this out there for y'all because, I had a lot of controversy coming at me about this. And I just want to say, first of all, let's read out the beers that started out, okay? This is always the biggest weekend of our social media career is Memorial Day because of the beer tournament. So we started off with Miller Lite, Michelob Ultra, Yingling, PBR, Coors Banquet, Budweiser, Coors Light, and Modelo. Now, I had people hit me up saying, well, how come Busch Light wasn't on there? How come, I don't remember what the other one, something else wasn't on there. This is bullshit. Why is it? Well, look, guys, I put out a poll. Our media team put out a poll on the Dirty and Driven Instagram and Facebook, and it said, what is your favorite beer? And these are the responses we got. So if yours was not represented, then you should have weighed in on the initial poll. I'm just telling that to you right now. It was on there. It was on the gram. And if you missed it, that's on you.
They can go under the Contact Us tab and file a complaint.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of tried to do that. They, they threw that out there. They were DMing the page, and I'm like, what do you want? Like, sorry, dude. Because they're like, I want to talk to the selection committee. And I'm like, you were the selection committee, and you did not vote for your beer. And there were some that got voted, but they only got like one. There were some that several people, polled in and said, like Coors Light, for example, or, most of these had multiple dings on them, hey, this is, but sorry, if yours didn't make it, it's because nobody threw its name in the hat. So, or it didn't get enough to trump these other ones. So maybe next year we need to make it a bigger bracket. I don't know, but this is what we got for this year. So that was it. Man, it was a close race, dude. Modelo almost beat Coors Light in the first round. Coors Light barely pulled out in the beginning. Coors Banquet whooped Budweiser's candy little ass. It's a gay little.
Was that last year's? Is what you're reading?
No, this is now.
It's current?
Now. Yeah.
Oh shit. This is
it, man.
This is first time news. Okay.
Yeah. So if you followed along, so there's that. I was disappointed in this one, man. I was really disappointed in our following. PBR beat Yingling by a pretty good spread. That was painful for me. I know we got a lot more Midwestern listeners than we probably do East Coasters or people in states where Yingling is now here. But man, if you ain't voting on that Yingling grind, then I don't know, man. But PBR won by quite a bit.
I'm cool with PBR, man. Come on.
PBR was my college beer.
Yeah.
I loved PBR in college.
Yeah.
I just like Yingling more. Miller Lite was getting beat by Michelob Ultra. Dude, in like the last hour, Miller Lite shot back up. Just, they started getting pallets of ballots stuffed in the boxes. All the
at 3 in the morning.
All the mail-in votes came in at 3 a.m.
They shut down the polls at midnight and closed all the doors. And
yeah, so in that moment, Miller Lite actually ended up winning, which I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Michelob Ultra would have won that one. And then it came down to Coors Light versus Coors Banquet and Miller Lite versus PBR. Miller Lite beat PBR. Coors Banquet smoked Coors Light. Last year was a 50-50 tie. We had to flip a bottle cap, if you remember, on air.
Damn. So
then it came down to Miller Lite and Coors Banquet, and I haven't looked at the results yet. So we're
So is this a cliffhanger till next week?
Tune in next week.
Or are you leaving the polls open since people are kind of finding out about this on the air, at least?
No, I mean it's
is it official?
We're closing her down.
Or are you going to take 2 weeks to count up the votes?
No, dude. I think we're going to announce it right here on the air. It's really not even close. Back-to-back champ.
Banquet. Damn.
For the second year running. And I even paired it up differently this time to where it wouldn't be Coors Light, Coors Banquet in the finals. They duked it out in round 2. And once again, Coors Banquet is the reigning champ of the official beer of the Blue Collar people 2 years in a row.
Coors is pretty strong. You do know that Miller is a part of Coors, right? It's Miller Coors.
So in America it is, and then in other countries, Miller is owned by Ambev. Bet you didn't know that.
No. But
Ambev is, right?
American beverage, maybe?
Well, they own Bud Light.
Yeah, but what does it stand for?
I don't know. Probably that. I'm not sure. But, I mean, they own, to avoid being a monopoly. I just learned this recently. But they can't own all these different ones. Otherwise, they'd be considered a monopoly. So they can't legally own Miller in America, but they own Miller in other countries. Kind of like they own... I don't think in America Modelo is owned by Ambev, but it is in Mexico, kind of thing. It's a weird. It's kind of screwy. I mean, I don't know. they've got their fingers in a lot of pots. I looked it up. I went down the rabbit hole, but nope. Coors Banquet, back to back. Bluecollar, official beer of the Bluecollar people.
I ain't arguing.
No. And with that, I got
You got a beer for me?
I got you something even better. I got this.
Oh shit!
What do you call these things?
Or just a bar mat for your
Yeah, a little bar mat. Make it a banquet.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I got you one.
Did this come from the cracky?
No, well, yeah, it came from that same house, but not where he was staying.
That's awesome,
pretty
man.
sweet. Yeah, I got one too. I don't know where I'm going to put it.
That might be good for here.
I'm going to hang it in the studio somewhere.
This might be my placemat.
Yeah, that's a good placemat. Maybe I can. That ain't going to work.
Nothing like regifting.
Yeah, I found it. Well, so those properties that were bought, there's a garage on it that is used for storage, and that my mom bought. She bought these 5 Airbnbs in Medicine Park, Oklahoma, and there's this one garage, and they use it for their storage and stuff. Well, I'm looking in there today, just trying to make sure I get all my stuff out of there while we leave, and I see a kegerator in there, dude. Like a full-fledged, like full-sized, like nice freaking refrigerated kegerator. I was like, damn.
And you're talking my language.
I saw these two on top of it. They came with the properties, and I was like, damn, son.
When's the last time you did a keg stand?
Oh, dude. 7-8 years. It's been a while.
Dude, I just remembered I wrote a beer song. Didn't quite get it finished, but it's called a bar that was called the Keg Stand, and that was kind of the big deal to where, like, if you have like a food challenge, you know, that's something that's known like the 72 or 92 ounce or 96 ouncer, in Amarillo, whatever that place is.
Mm-hmm.
This bar was called the Keg Stand, and that was kind of what it was known for. Is you do a keg stand.
You could do the one night keg stand. It's kind of like the one night taco stand.
I like that one night stand.
One night keg stand. No, it's been a long time. I never liked doing keg stands because whenever we do them, and the only time a person should ever do that is whenever you're in college or visiting college or of that age,
or when they have the keys to a vehicle and they're going to drive everybody home. That's when you should do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but you got to get in the car fast before it hits.
Yes,
all my buddies would just beat the shit out of people while they would do them.
Yeah.
They'd just be punching you.
Yeah.
So I never liked doing them because I don't like getting punched.
I'm afraid my jewels might fall out of my shorts.
We'd also
waistband.
do keg rodeos. It was like a keg stand, but you'd sit on top of it. They'd call it, I think we called it like 8 seconds. You'd see if you could last 8 seconds while just getting the shit beaten out of you while drinking the keg. Yeah. I usually would weasel my way out of it. Now I'd do my fair share of beating other people, but whenever it came down to like, all right, your turn, I'd be like, oh, I already did it, and everybody's too drunk. They believe you.
I remembered I was trying to come up back during my beer songwriting days. I was trying to come up with a cool commercial idea, and anytime we were framing houses or roofing houses, anytime the day was over with, we would undo the quick connect from our guns, our air tools, to where whenever you do it, you're depressuring the gun. So it's a real distinct like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, because then you know it's quitting time. Then you know it's beer time, right? It's beer 30.
Right.
I thought, dude, what a great transition for the blue collar working man to where right when you do that sound, that everybody knows that when you undo those guns, the working day is over.
Yeah.
Go right into the same deal, but it's cracking open a beer, a beer bottle.
Yeah.
Straight from the deal to a beer bottle. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's cool.
And then another one that I had is like for a marathon, you're running a marathon and you got your drink stations and stuff. I might have told you this one, but you got your water by doing that. Well, one of them, the guy might be winning, but then he comes by like a Coors Light or a Coors Banquet deal. And he does that, and then he ends up losing the lead because he goes back and keeps drinking. And
I told you I saw a kid do that last year in the
that's right. Yeah, in the city. Yeah, in the city. Yeah,
in
the neighborhood.
There was just a guy want a beer, and this kid was running in front of me, and he was beating me. We were on like mile 18-ish, 19, somewhere in there, and he goes, you know what, fucking dude. He just quits running and grabs a beer. Yeah. I think, we talked about that a few times.
Yeah, and
that's one of those stories the listeners are like, dude, how many times are you going to tell this story?
That's the second time.
Yeah. As far as we know.
It's not bad to for 365 days to
Yeah.
bring up a story again.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Oh, I had one other deal I want to talk to you about since kind of mentioned the marathon deal.
Yeah.
I've kind of hit up Colton and Zach on this deal if they would support it. And I think they're going to help support it.
Okay.
But what better way to do like a fundraiser since kind of big on this money raising stuff? And since you're Mr. Athlete, we're all going to get behind you and you're going to be the face of it, okay?
Okay.
But what it's going to do is we're pretty much going to have, we can have people donate money before and then during the live event. But we're going to have you do a 1 mile speed walking race.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, no, because you're perfect for it.
Dude,
What?
I'm not doing that damn speed walking
What?
stuff. I can't speed walk.
Sure you can,
Dude.
dude. Put on like short and like a little fanny pack and like your little string, you know, your little spaghetti
Dude,
top.
the guys that do that look like giraffes, and I'm not a giraffe.
It's like the most emasculating feminist thing in the world. But dude, it'd be to raise money for a good cause. That's the whole idea.
No, I just did a fundraiser that raised over 50 grand.
Oh,
And,
here we go.
And next year it's going to bring in over 100 grand. So that's what I'm going to do. I ain't speed walking.
That's terrible, man.
I ain't speed walking.
The face of speed walking.
No. Dude, those guys look like giraffes straight up.
Have your old hips swinging.
It's like you ever heard the song Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster? You know the song from Office Space?
I'm not a big Office Space guy.
Really?
That or Seinfeld.
Dude, Office Space is a phenomenal
Yeah,
movie.
Office Space, it's good, but
A phenomenal movie. Well, there's the song in there
Show.
whenever he gets hypnotized and he's just like, it's like his monologue of just stop giving a shit about work. And, you know, but you know, there's a song, you know, damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Mhm.
Well, real gangsta ass can't run for shit because real gangsta ass can't run fast.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am. I don't
So-
run fast, man. I just
But
run
we-
a long ways.
So we could put that music to the video of you speed walking. It would be perfect.
Dude, those guys that speed walk faster than I can run.
Yeah, have you seen it? Dude, they do
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 minute miles. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're plowing down like 5.5, 6 minute miles. It's like the world championship speed walker ran a 5K in like 15 minutes. I was like, what? That's not speed walking, but it's like the way they do it. It has to be heel to toe, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird, dude.
Well, Colton, Zach, if y'all are listening, man, I tried because they were totally 100% for it.
I'm sure they were.
I was working behind the scenes.
I'm sure they were 100% sold. Yeah, of course they were. What were you guys going to do as a role for that fundraiser?
We're going to help put it together. I mean, you got to have an MC, right?
God, dude.
Play by play.
Dude,
Have, like,
I
drone-
want you to MC an event.
Have
Seriously.
drone footage and have a couple different camera angles. Have it where they got the chesties, they got the deals that come out.
You'd be looking at people's shorts.
So
And that's okay. Fuck, dude. No, you won't be catching me speed walking anytime soon.
all right, man. I tried.
You tried. Merle said, Mama tried. Oh, dude. All right. I got a story I've been itching to tell you.
Oh yeah, I want to hear it. 'Cause
So wait, all right, hold on. Actually, before that, I wanted to on air. I know I'm a couple days late now, but I wanted to wish your beautiful wife a happy birthday.
oh man,
The official Dirty and Driven happy birthday.
yeah, she hit the big, whatever you call the half of the full.
Half of the fool.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I get them all, decades and centuries and millennial, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I get it all mixed up. So
The old 29 again.
yeah,
Yep.
I put 49 on her birthday cake.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
it was good, man. Ton of family around.
I wish I would have known that she wanted a Bartesian.
Really?
Yeah, for real. I
Yeah.
got one gifted to me for my wedding. And like,
Dude, you are a re-gifting son of a bitch, man.
I would have sold it to you, man.
Yeah, here you go. Look what I picked up here. Where'd you
Yeah.
get it? Did you? So you went out and bought it? Nah, dude, I was fucking fine. I was just figuring.
Well, dude, okay. Anything that's really cool, you can't just go buy at a store. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that guitar sitting in the corner over there, that only comes from a meth head's house.
So what? When were you at a meth head's house?
Well, hold on. I did want to just say happy birthday to Melody. But anyways, I did have a Bartesian that's been sitting in my attic for over 8 years, so could have worked a deal there. But anyways, that's either here nor there. But anyways, Melody, happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. We appreciate you. So yeah, back to that guitar. Yeah. So we were, as I mentioned a minute ago, my mom and her friend went into business and they bought these 5 Airbnb properties in Medicine Park, Oklahoma. And that's a cool little town. Have you ever been there?
No, I've been by.
Yeah. So Wichita Mountains area, just you'd have to go there to really appreciate it. It's like a mountain town, like a Colorado mountain town in the middle of Oklahoma. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you wouldn't, especially that part of the country, you wouldn't know something like that is there.
No.
At all.
And, kind of the history behind it. I mean, just brief history. And this is bro history in a can, you know what I mean? But it's kind of just been a chill town. It for a long time. I don't know why it was founded initially. I think mining town kind of thing, that kind of stuff. The Indians ran the Wichita Mountains until the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Then what happened?
Well,
Whitey came along.
yeah, the white man.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's like where, if you've heard about like Quanah Parker and stuff like that, that's where he ended up once they started putting Indians on reservations and stuff. That's kind of the area he lived. He lived originally in the Wichita Mountains, then he moved to Cache, Oklahoma, which is actually where my mom went to school and stuff. But yeah, Quanah Parker, that's kind of his stomping grounds. The Comanches ruled that area. It's Comanche County, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, cool town, man. Just real neat, small town of 400 people, but it's just a cool place. I mean, it's just like a cool little quaint vacation type town. You know what I mean? But anyways, my mom and her friend went into business. They bought these 5 Airbnbs. They're all on one property, and it's really a pretty cool place, cool setup and everything. And there was a guy who booked there for a week, and he said his wife had died, and he was coming here. He wanted to heal. He came here to heal. So we never really saw him, and my mom saw him one day. She saw him walking around. She said, "Hey, hey, I'm Suzanne. I'm the owner. Just want to say hi, blah blah blah." And the dude just kind of glared at her, just looked like death. You know what I mean? And anyways, it just that was it, and he went about his business. Well, the next day, her business partner goes in the garage. This is a house that it's over top this garage, and they walk in, and she sees water dripping out of the light fixture, and that garage isn't for rent, so it's just there's like their storage area, and they have their washing machines and stuff in there for the whole complex, and it's just dripping through the ceiling, and she's like, "Oh, what the hell?" And she tries going knocking on the door. The guy doesn't answer, so she sends my dad up there, so he could kind of just. The door was cracked, so she didn't want to go in there alone, obviously. And my dad goes in there, and he's like, "Man, there's trash all over the floor, and the toilet was clogged up to hell." And I told him, I said, "We just talked about dry docking just went viral doing it."
Yeah.
Well, he goes, "The toilet wouldn't stop running. It was clogged up, wouldn't stop running. I had to get down on my hands and knees.
He
I had
did
to turn the water off."
Yeah.
I said, "You got dry docked, boy."
Yeah, that thing got traction.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it happened in real life now. So I was like, "You got dry docked."
And it happened to your own family.
Yeah. Not me, thankfully, but
But your dad.
Yeah. That's what I was telling him about it. I said, "You know what a dry dock is?" And he's like, I said, "You should have left him a real dry dock. You should have flushed it down and just taken a shit in there." And he goes, "I wanted out of there as fast as I could." He goes, "There was already shit and toilet paper all over the floor. I didn't need to add to a dry dock,
Damn, son.
So he turned the water off, and it was just and he goes, the guy was in bed. He was breathing, but that was about it. And my dad walks away. We didn't see the guy for hours, and then they kept wondering about him, and we called the police and said, "Hey, can you guys come do a wellness check?" This is like 9 hours later. We're sitting here having a crawfish boil, right? It's like storms coming. There's 15 of us all hanging out that are all in this group that we traveled together, and we're boiling crawfish and drinking beer and having a good time. Like, I've got my friends coming in from Lawton, and there's a bunch of people that came and traveled and stayed in the houses, and we were all just having a great Memorial Day weekend. And this guy comes and then this cop comes, knocks on the door, and tells the guy, hey, you need to leave. And they messaged him. They tried texting him. He wouldn't answer, hey, you need to leave. Well, the cop tells me he needs to leave. And the cop goes, yeah, he looks like he's in a bad way, but whatever. Well, he comes out on the front porch, and it's elevated front porch. Like I said, it's a 2-story little deal. And he's just on this upper deck, not upper decker, but he was on the top deck, and he's just like rolling around, dude. He just looks like hell. And so we called the cops again on him. We're like, this is not right. This guy looks like he is messed up. And they show up and they're questioning him and stuff. Well, they end up arresting him. It's so funny. There's like 3 cop cars and 2 ambulances pull up, and we're just still sitting there eating crawfish, just nonchalantly, just this going on in the background. And so, man, we got the full New Orleans experience. It's like straight up raining so hard it could be a hurricane. We got the crawfish. We got the police. Yeah. Feels like Louisiana. And then, yeah, they end up arresting this guy, and we go through all his shit, dude. Like, well, actually, the cops said, you guys are not allowed in here. It's potential to be a crime scene. Well, at first they said he's got a bunch of tactical gear in here. And we're like, oh shit. Like, is he about to like shoot up the music festival that's going on or something? A lot of people, easy to do. Well, his tactical gear was a pair of tactical pants, like police pants. I was like, what? He has like, because he told the cop, he said, I like your pants. I have a pair just like them. So they're like, he's got tactical gear. I was like, he's got a pair of cargo pants. Like, what are you guys talking about? And then he had like a cheap sword and like a spear. I don't know if he's planning on going to hunt a buffalo or something, but yeah, he had no guns or anything. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping he would, so I could get a new gun out of the deal. But no, dude, they found they searched this place for a while, and they ended up taking him off in an ambulance because he was so messed up. They come down and they tell us, they're like, yeah, he's whacked out and the apartment's trashed to hell. But they found this bad boy right here.
Got some tinfoil, aluminum foil.
Look what's in it. You know what that is?
We call that ice.
That's about a golf ball sized piece of crystal meth.
Call that ice. That's what Dog the Bounty Hunter calls it.
Yeah, they said it was about a couple grand worth of meth. So he went up there to die is what he did, dude. They said if we would have waited one day to call on him, they'd have been recovering a body.
Really?
Yeah. So he went there to die, dude. And we were watching this shit unfold. It was just nuts, I guess the guy's wife had just died.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And, well, he'd been married to her since 2020. They found some papers and stuff in his stuff, and they found like divorce papers. So like they'd gotten divorced, and then she had just recently died. And, he had told her, well, I just lost the love of my life and I just came here to heal. Well, what he did is he booked this place, and he just bought a bunch of meth, and he was just going to fucking live it out there until he died, I guess, which he was close. We didn't call on him, but now he's in prison. But yeah, now we got that sweet ass guitar in the corner over there out of the deal. The dude had probably, I mean, I haven't valued everything up, but 15 to 20 grand of music gear and just other random shit, mainly music gear. He just loaded everything up that he owned into the back of, he had a Dodge Challenger. We had it towed off. And that's another story in and of itself, because the tow truck guy shows up. My mom calls him and he's like, hey, can you guys just take this and then, have it impounded? And they're like, yeah, sure. No problem. Well, they show up, and it's this like 18-year-old kid. And I'm talking, he ain't straight out of Compton, but he's straight out the trailer. You know what I mean? He's got like this bleach blonde hair that's like falling out. Like he looks like he might be on meth too. And he's like, yeah, I brought my friend here. I'm training him. We're like, training him? You're like 17. You know what I mean? And he kept calling all the women darling. Darling this, darling that. And he kept saying it to like my mom especially. And then he's just like, yeah, like while he's eating, like we offered him some crawfish. He's eating it, and he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And somehow it came up, he goes, yeah, and, by the way, I like to fuck. We're like, what?
Hell yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah. And, we're like, okay, we kind of just brushed it off, let it slide. And he kept saying some stuff, and he goes, yeah, well, we're going to get this car out of here. And, by the way, I like to swing. And he's wearing a pineapple shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he starts walking away. And one of the guys, like, we just kind of went, huh? And one of the guys in our group goes, hey, bro, what was that? And he goes, I swing. We were like, what the fuck did he just say? Like, he's like hitting on all the women in our group. He's like 18. Talking about how he swings. I was like, don't you have to be like married or like in a pretty committed relationship to be a swinger? Isn't that what swinging is?
I know. Don't hate the player, man.
I guess, but.
And you would rather it be open like that, right? Than him, you have to find out. Like, I mean, if
I didn't want to go.
At least he was forthcoming.
You know what I've learned is people who act like that are usually the ones who probably have the least amount of sex.
Yeah, but imagine if you shoot your shot so many times, one time it's going to hit, right?
Yeah.
And who knows?
Yeah.
He had a big group of people.
Yeah.
There was maybe a small opportunity.
Yeah. Could have been.
Maybe a person in your party after a few drinks later on, like, you know what? Where's old pineapple shirt guy?
We're gonna call Piggy's Towing Back or whatever it's called, something like that.
Yeah. Order the pizza with extra anchovies.
Is that a sign?
That was a sign on. I can't remember what movie it was, but anytime someone ordered the extra anchovies, that was when this one delivery guy would go over and service people.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, she wanted the extra anchovies. Might have been on Can't Buy Me Love. Fuck, I can't remember.
Oh, dude, that's funny. Yeah, it was so weird, man. It was like, what is this day? This is the same day. I mean, that was the same night. This is right after this guy gets carted off to jail. So we were going through his stuff earlier today, and now I've got like a $5,000 guitar sitting in the corner there and all sorts of other shit, dude. Just crazy. Just a weird day, weird weekend.
I got an honest question for you.
Okay.
Cool on the score, right?
Yeah.
But how can you all legally have that stuff?
So he got taken off to jail and basically it becomes a civil matter. So, I mean, we're not
so really
it.
You're storing it until...
Basically, so he goes before the judge tomorrow. Right. Like we asked the cops, like, what do we do? And they're like, it's a civil matter. Like it's on you guys. We're like, we can move it, right? And like, yeah, it's on your property. You can get rid of it. And, you know, basically he has to pay, the deal's going to be, he has to pay X amount of dollars for damages, call it $5,000 in damage. I mean, cause he trashed the place, right. You know what I mean? You know, they're paying a cleaning crew an ungodly amount of money to clean it. They're going to have to replace a lot of the furniture because he was smoking meth in the fucking house. Right. You know, there's tinfoil everywhere where he's smoking meth. He's trying to use a hairdryer to heat it up. You know, just crazy shit. And this isn't a nice place. You know what I mean? This isn't a ghetto house. This is a very nice Airbnb. Like, this is the place that you take your family to. There's
high-end meth smokers.
They said that he was not. They said he was a cheap druggie because there was no cocaine laced with the meth. Yeah. That's what the cop said. He goes, yeah, some of these guys, he said if they really have money, then they'll put cocaine in with it. But he goes, he was a cheap druggie, just regular meth.
Damn.
Yeah. No fentanyl, though.
Must be some good stuff.
I guess. Almost killed him, so it must have been decent. But,
well, on a serious note, hopefully that guy.
I hope he gets help.
Yeah.
You know, but if he gets out, if he does get out of jail, like he goes before the judge tomorrow, if he does get out of jail, then he has to basically, if he reaches out for stuff, then it's going to be just one of those deals where they say, you owe us so much money if you want your stuff back. And, you know, maybe he'll pay it, maybe he doesn't. But if he does pay it within a certain amount of time, he gets his stuff back. But if not.
It's a tough learning lesson.
Yeah. I mean, it's thousands of dollars of stuff, dude. Nice music equipment. I mean, not just guitars, but, you know, audio equipment, mixing board, just, I mean, I recognized a lot of it right off because it's shit that like my band uses and like we use nice stuff. And I was like, this is really nice stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we can't just keep it and say, you know, screw you, man. You know, but I mean, we could, I guess, if we really wanted to. But.
I'm sure you'll end up with it because when somebody's that off, they ain't going to pursue it.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, he might go get his car and then just say, fuck it with the stuff. It's not worth it. But you never know. You know, he might get out of jail and blow his head off. You just don't know.
Damn, son.
I mean, he might. I don't know.
Why didn't you say he might, you know, get his shit together and have, you know, find him a new love of his life? Maybe get hooked up with the tow truck dude. You know, maybe they can get something going.
I guess that'd be, you know, it's Biden's America. He swings. So anyways, that was my crazy Memorial Day weekend.
Were the pineapples upside down on the guy's shirt?
I don't remember. Oh, the best part was there's this guy with us too that the other group, there was my family, and then there was this other group that was the business partner's family. She brought her family up, and her husband had a couple sons from a prior marriage. Well, they're in their like 30s, but we just called him the Florida man because every meme you've seen about the Florida man was this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, really cool. Fun. I mean, one of the guys the kind of guy you want to party with. You know what I mean? It was just fun, cool guy. Well, whenever the tow truck guy comes out, this guy just comes out with a Bob Marley shirt on, some short shorts, hair, long curly hair, back in a ponytail, and he's just literally holding a gun in his hand. He's like, "What's up, bro?" You know, just like, what the hell? Why does this guy have a gun? You know? Yeah. It was just a weird weekend. It was one of those weekends that I go, "Yep, my life is a sitcom." Everything about this weekend was a sitcom. Great weekend, funny weekend, just sitcom.
Yeah, you'll definitely remember that one.
I will. It's crazy. So, anyways, man, what about you? Anything fun, exciting happen?
No, I just celebrated my wife's birthday.
Cool, man.
We had 2 goats lined up that we're going to get for the house, but we had to push that back for a little bit.
Oh, what's that?
There's a ton of grandkids at the house, and we just got a couple more. We got a couple more animals because I told you about my wife.
Yeah, you got a dog. Yeah, did you get a cat? Did I say you got a cat too?
Yeah, so we got a cat. So the kicker is our cat needed a buddy, and my wife came across this cat at PetSense, which is part of the Humane Society. They kind of help. I think everything that's at PetSense, it's kind of on display for the Humane Society. Anyway, we get this cat that's 7 years old, a black female cat. And her name's Daisy. Got all the paperwork and chip and all that crap. Well, Daisy, pretty cat, lovable. It's warming up to the house.
Yeah.
Daisy walks around a lot of times with her tail straight up in the air. And check this out. She is a midnight black cat, but her damn butthole is the most like pinkish white, cleanest butthole. And dude, it's this big.
Ew.
It's this big. So the cat walks around with its tail up in the air. It's not like it's putting the tail down and, hiding it. And this big old eyeball is walking around. Just it is the most hilarious. It's like its butthole got bleached, anal bleaching.
Ew.
And it's been the big joke. So I changed the cat's name from Daisy to Big Mike. So we've been calling the cat Big Mike. But unfortunately, with all the family over a few days ago, we think that one of the times that everybody was going to and fro in and out of the house, that Big Mike got out. So we haven't been able to find Big Mike.
You haven't even seen her.
Yeah, this is our new cat, and Big Mike is gone. So
Big Mike gone, son.
And it sucks because we were really embracing the Big Mike name.
Dang.
What's up, Big Mike?
What's up, Big Mike? Hey, Big Mike.
It's a girl cat.
Hey, Big Mike. I knew a girl with a golden retriever that she named Kevin. Girl.
Cool.
A female golden retriever that she named Kevin. So, kind of same thing.
I had a guy I played softball with, and he named his dog DOG.
Like the OG?
Dog. DOG. DOG.
Oh, DOG.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Sorry, I thought you meant DOG.
Yeah.
No, my dad, his friend had a dog named Dog. He found it one day. It was a stray, and he's like, I don't want to get attached, and just named it Dog, and then he got attached and just kept it. So her name was Dog.
Yeah. Love our animals, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
The unconditional love of animals is just something.
Are you getting a goat because you don't want a lawnmower anymore?
Little bit that, but you can't just get one. You got to get a buddy, right? Yeah. And we got pretty good sized property, and we've been talking about getting goats for a while.
I told you about whenever I owned 13% of a goat, didn't I? And freshman year of college, the rugby team decided we needed to get a goat. Right, dude. Yeah. It was a dwarf pygmy goat. Yeah, I know.
But how did 13% work out? So it
was like $100, and we all pitched in, and I had $13 that I threw in there.
Okay, I see the math now.
Yep. So I owned 13% of that goat. Yep. That thing was crazy, and it haunted a house after it died.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the whole story. It's an asshole, dude. It's like literally like this big, but he was a little ass. Mr. Pickles was his name. Yeah.
Goats are cool. I've been hearing from a lot of people that there are a lot of times a lot of problems, just little getting into shit and getting their heads stuck in fences and all that. But
my friend does, he ranches goats, and it's like, he'll have a goat stuck in a culvert pipe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just the weirdest things.
And I looked into getting dwarf goats or fainting goats.
Oh, what about screaming goats?
I mean, don't goats do that? Scream anyway.
Yeah, but there's the ones that sound like a human being just screaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think these do because we're going to get them. There's 2 properties to the north of us that have probably 100 goats. That's who I reached out to.
Oh, I see.
And they said, yeah, whenever you want to come round them up. So they asked us, do you want babies, like ones that are pretty much freshly weaned? Or do you want kids, the transition stage, or do you want adults? So we're like, no, we'll probably end up getting the little ones, so.
I got you. Yeah, man. Well, hey, quick word from our sponsors, and then we will get into that little quote you talked about for our last few minutes here.
Okay.
Number one sponsor is me and Casey. That's our main sponsor.
Yeah, thank you, James.
Yeah. So buy shit.
So thank you, Casey.
Oh, thank you, Casey.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
I'm bad at this.
Yeah.
So get online, buy some merch, Dirty and Driven stuff. I got this black shirt with the orange logo on. That's our most popular item. A lot of people love them.
Sharp.
Yeah, they're sharp. You can cut the sleeves off for all your summer needs. Yeah, check them out. They're good shirts. They're comfortable, fit good. We also have a lot of different hats and stickers. The free sticker deal is still out there. If you want to support us in a free way, we'll actually give you something. All you got to do is follow us on Instagram or Facebook or whatever and DM us the word sticker. We'll send you a free sticker anywhere in the world. If you don't have that stuff, email us, dirtyandriven@gmail.com. We've literally sent stickers to hundreds of different places, all the states, several countries, all over the place. So hit us up. We want to send those out. We're still doing that. People ask me every now and then, hey, do you still do those? Yeah, we do. Only for you podcast listeners. Everybody else can suck it. So hit us up for that. If you want to support us another way, you can drop money in the tip jar. $1, $2, $5, $20, $50, whatever your heart feels led to give. It just helps us improve the show, helps us know that we're doing a good job. We have a lot of listeners, and we appreciate all of you guys who put money in the tip jar so we can up our production quality and do better. And lastly, I would just want to plug something totally irrelevant to the blue collar world, to my not to myself, or to anything to do with the show. But the legendary band Fading Fast has 2 shows this weekend, Friday and Saturday, in beautiful downtown Ponca City. It's going to be a fucking riot. There is so many events going on, including a Touch a Truck event, which I'm really excited about. And we are going to be playing back-to-back nights, Friday night, Saturday night. That intro song that you heard, that was Double It Up by Fading Fast. So go give that full song a listen. Badass song. Come see us this weekend.
All right, I just thought of something when you were plugging the band, F Squared, Fading Fast.
Yeah.
I was thinking, since it's tornado season, the Fujita scale that measures wind speeds.
Yeah, not the fajita scale.
Yeah. F1 being the lowest and F5 being the 200 and some mile per hour. And on the Fujita scale, an F2, Fading Fast tornado, has wind speeds between 113 and 157 miles per hour.
That's pretty good.
That's considered a significant tornado that can cause considerable damage, such as roofs torn off, frame houses, box cars overturning. So y'all are 113 to 157 F squared.
Nice.
That ain't bad, dude. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty good.
That's probably like a good 6.5, 7 incher.
Yeah. And dude, we were also just interviewed front page of the newspaper on Saturday.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And they even did the old...
Tens of people saw that.
I can't remember what that's called, but I used to, believe it or not, I used to be in advertising, but they said that on the fold part of the newspaper, to where if this is the newspaper like this, but you have a story here, but then you have to fold it open to get to
the old page 2.
Yeah, not page 2, but literally have to fold it open like this.
Oh, yeah.
That's like almost prime time. That's like real engagement right there.
Yeah. So actually that feeds in really good to kind of the topic we were talking about is, some people call it kissing ass, some people but your quote, read your quote. I've got that's actually a great story for this example. I didn't even think about this before.
I ain't big on ass kissing, but there's a lot of opportunities out there if you go and meet people and let them know who you are and stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes, dude, there's politics in all aspects of our life, even from being little to friendships to I don't want to hang out with them because I ain't cool enough. Dude, when I was in school, I know we've all probably had it too, but I had certain friends that I thought were friends, but at times I wasn't cool enough.
Right.
They'd get invited to go on trips and stuff. And I was wondering why. You know why? Well, my parents weren't cool enough, or maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was an asshole. I wasn't playing the political game or whatever. Maybe I wasn't doing stuff right. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so on this kind of the get away from the politics voodoo thing, I heard something today that a guy explained it, which it's a different way to look at it and say it to where it's not such a bad word. And that is the power of building relationships is pretty much what he talked about, because he was in with the city and he'd go and do these functions and stuff, and that did nothing. His building relationships did nothing but help his business and everything as a whole grow in networking and all the goodies.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree with that. So it's actually funny you bring that up. So I got that front prime time spot on the newspaper because I made friends with the editor of the newspaper. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I hit him up. I saw that he had put another band in there. They just sent him a picture and they just said, "Oh, this band's playing at some show, blah, blah, blah." And people were like, "Well, how come your band didn't get in there?" So I hit him up. I said, "Hey, I know you featured this other band in there." And I mean, I've talked to him, met with them, like he's been in a few different events I've been to. Like we've had, he was in my leadership class. So I had a lot of chance to talk to him. And, finally I just kind of hit him with the old, this is after him and I were already like friends, talking like on a first name basis, seeing each other all around. This wasn't like I went out of my way, but like I just made that friendship. And then one day I kind of put two and two together. I was like, "Hey brother, what would it take to get that kind of an article in the newspaper?" And he said, "Oh, just do it." And that was it. There's no ass kissing. There was no like, I wasn't targeting him because I wanted something. I just made a friend and then said, "Hey man, how can I do da da da?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can make that happen." And that's what we did.
Yeah. And there's a lot to be said about you never know unless if you ask either.
Yeah.
Like with anything, you could have easily not asked and it might not have happened and you might have stewed on it forever. And he said, yeah, sweet.
Yeah. And you can't ask too much. Like I'd love him to do a big write up on the Dirty and Driven podcast. I mean, and I'm sure he would if I asked him, but you can't just ask all the time, right? You got to give too.
Yeah.
You can't just take because people go, "Fuck, dude. Here comes James. He's always wanting something,
Yeah.
You gotta be their friend,
Well, be sure you get your annual subscription to the Ponca City News.
Yeah.
That way you're holding up your end of the bargain.
There you go. Keep it alive. A lot of people still read the newspaper, surprisingly.
Yeah, there's something tangible about physically having to. You can get on the e-deal or whatever online and read it, but when you physically have something in hand and flip through the pages,
it's just different.
It is.
I've actually been reading the newspaper more. We get it at our office, and it's always sitting on the front desk, and I've never really. I mean, I'll walk by if I'm sitting at the front desk waiting on something. Excuse me. I'll kind of flip through it a little bit, but I've actually kind of started reading it a little more. I'm getting back into it. I think it's kind of cool, but no, dude, your whole thing. So people say, "Why is this relevant to me as a construction worker?" Right? Why do I need to know how to, kiss the hands and shake the babies and all that good stuff? Right? Well, it's important to know who to introduce yourself to, how to do it, how to talk to people. Right? Like so many guys are like, "Oh yeah, I'm me. Oh, fuck you." Well, so hard-headed, stubborn, which is great. But sometimes it's good to just be a guy that people want to talk to and make friends with. Like a lot of times I hear, "Well, that guy, he kisses the boss's ass and he's this and that. And that's why he gets to do all this special stuff and all this cool stuff." And it's like, he's not kissing the boss's ass. He's just not a dick and he does what he's asked. You know what I mean? And he takes initiative. And that's where you have to learn the art of networking and asking questions and just being a guy that people want to be around. You know what I'm like? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you're someone that people want to be around, then, your supervisor or another company or whoever else, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, "Man, this is a cool guy." A lot of times skill even gets overlooked whenever it comes to these kinds of relationships. Like if you're a cool guy, like Casey, if you came out to one of my job sites and you ran a piece of equipment, you might even do it a little better than half-ass. But if everybody liked you and they said, man, he's cool, and the boss really liked you, they'd be like, oh, yeah, he's pretty good. He's a good operator. You know, it doesn't matter if you're phenomenal or not. Like, people are going to be able to tell pretty quick if you're good or not. But, I mean, they'll be able to tell that, yeah, he's going to fit with our crew, and we like him, and we've got bigger plans for him. We're going to teach him up. We're going to train him. Let's go. And that's not kissing ass. That's not being a politician. That's just playing your cards right and just being maybe even swallowing your pride here and there and doing what needs to be done so you can better yourself.
Yeah. I mean, if you're cool with being stagnant and just going in day to day, that's fine. And there's a lot of people like that. But if you want to hopefully succeed to a point where you're taking care of your family and do bigger and better things, and there's going to have to be quite a bit of that involved.
And where I see the line being different between just networking and either kissing ass or politics is whenever you start either getting money involved or questioning your values for personal gain. Like, okay, and in a work sense, just I work for a company and I want to level up. You know, the old, golden knee pads analogy, oh yeah, that guy's got the golden knee pads. He's been brown nosing the boss and all that. And that's how he's got to where he's at.
Do you still have them in a case hanging on your wall?
Yeah, mounted. So you have the old golden knee pads person and you have that, and you have those people that they will sacrifice their morals and their standards in order for that kind of gain. And sometimes that works for them short term. I don't think long term that works for anybody. I think eventually you either get exposed and you see that person's just an ass kisser, or they just become so unbearable to work with that you run them off, or they run everybody else off and the place closes down. So that you get that, right? It's not long-term stuff though. And they might be asked to do something that's immoral for a company, wrong, illegal, however you want to put it. And they might say, yeah, because they want to be that person. They want to do whatever they can for the boss. That's not good. So if you're a guy of morals and values and you say, this is what I believe in, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm going to do, you can do that without being an asshole, right?
Yeah.
Some people say, well, I'm not for sale. I'm not doing this, that. And it's really just because that person's an asshole or they're an idiot and they're not.
Yeah. They
don't know how to compromise any and push and pull and work with people. They're just so stubborn and hard-headed. They don't even want to try to work with people.
Yeah. That's the way my dad was. Whenever I got hired on out here, I told him about certain like safety teams that I was on, that I was volunteering for. Mm-hmm. And I was speaking at big events down in Houston. And I told him, Dad, I'm doing this and that. And my dad was always like, son, I ain't kissing anybody's ass, son. I ain't an ass kisser. My dad was always just hard that I go, yeah, Dad, but for one, I like my job and I have to do these things and I like being able to pay the bills, and I ain't kissing anybody's ass. Yeah, Dad, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, I got to do this and it helps benefit me and my family. You know what?
Yeah, you weren't kissing ass.
Yeah.
You were playing the game, but you weren't kissing ass. No. You weren't doing anything wrong. You weren't doing anything illegal. You weren't doing anything to sacrifice your morals. You weren't doing anything just because you were getting paid to. You're doing it because you wanted to and you knew it was best for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not kissing ass.
Yeah.
That's working your way up.
Yeah, but it could easily be seen as kissing ass to your coworkers.
To the rock solid, hard-headed, stubborn construction worker, blue-collar worker, yes, that's kissing ass. But it's because they're not willing to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's it.
And if you went up to him and you said, hey, man, do you want to go speak at this event? They're going to say, fuck, no, I don't want to go do that.
And then
they're not willing to do all the work that you were doing.
Yeah, so then they wonder why they're not getting job opportunities or promotions and stuff. Well, look at your body of work. All you do is you just come in and do this one thing, and you're not going after hours and doing all these extra things to help advance the company.
Yeah, and they may even be working hella overtime and doing all that, but they hit a point where they can't grow anymore because and that's cool. For some people, that's all they want to do. You hit a point where you don't want to grow anymore and you say, that's it. But you can't sit there and try and, judge people and falter them for, well, he's an ass kisser. He kissed his ass to the way to the top, and he doesn't deserve that. Well, you didn't want it. You didn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. And if you're in a position, and if you're wondering why you ain't getting the promotions or the job opportunity, take a look at yourself and see, hey, man, look within. It could be because you're not doing like we're talking about.
Yeah, you're not willing to. And a lot of people would probably know that they're not willing to. And that's all right. Once again, there's plenty of people that...
And we need those. That's the deal. We need...
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just,
suck ass.
Yeah, suck ass. Yeah. Well, and I think that where like it becomes politics is whenever money's involved. And whenever you've got, let's say you're a construction company, you got a big customer, and now it becomes politics because it's, well, hey, I'm not going to give you guys this big contract if you don't XYZ. Well, now you've got to figure out, how do I compromise without sacrificing my morals? And a lot of people will sacrifice their morals in that case. But that's the politics, is balancing morals and money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to.
It's tough.
And that's it for politicians too. People look at, well, you and I were talking about it the other day. Whenever I told you I wanted to run for governor one day, you were like, dude, you're gonna fucking crumble just like all of them. The good guys don't go after it. And I said, well, maybe good guys need to. And you're like, man, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you get into, where a lot of those guys pin themselves against the wall is they take money from people and then they get reliant on that money. And then that person says, we want you to sign this into law. Well, you might do that a couple times because it's just little things, right? But now they got you on the hook and they're like, if you want us to keep donating to your campaign, then you better do blah, blah, blah. And you're like, shit.
That's it. I think a lot of them go in with good intentions.
Yeah. And it's not even that, but it's now they're threatening them. They're threatening their families. They're coming at them. And that's politicians, but even big business owners, they look at it and they go, shit, man, I need these contracts. This guy's kind of got me by the balls. I need these contracts because if I don't get it, then I've got 50 guys and they're going to be out of work. And I'm really relying on this guy and, I'm shoved, So it's always good to not let people corner you like that the best you can. Now,
tough,
I'm sure it's
man.
easier said than done, but yeah, it's different. But, and I was talking about this on Sweat and Grime. It's just important to know who's in charge of what. You know what I mean? It's not ass kissing. It's just networking. Like you were talking about a guy wanting to, look at some different, wanting to get a new position in his job. And he was like, well, I don't want to, kiss ass or anything like that. But again, it's not kissing ass. It's just meeting people.
Yeah.
You gotta make yourself known. Like if you want to get a promotion, you have to make it known. You have to go to your boss and you have to say, hey, I want to be in that spot. How do I get there?
Yeah.
Because your boss may not even think of you because you're so quiet and in the back and reserved that he's never thought that you have the skill set or the talent to do that. And sometimes it's just learning who's in charge of what. Kind of like I was getting annoyed at the way certain jobs have been designed by ODOT in our area for mill and overlay jobs because they keep putting in an inch and a half mill and a 2-inch overlay on stuff, or they'll do like 2-inch mill and 2-inch overlay is usually what they do on asphalt, right? Well, you can do a 2-inch mill, but if you do a 2-inch overlay, the problem is they've been leaving the shoulders in place. And they've just been doing the main lines, not touching these shoulders to save money. Well, whenever you do that, you're matching the old shoulder. So if you had a rough road before, now you're trying to match it and you're matching that old crapped out shoulder. So you get a rougher road if you're matching that. So what we've been telling them is, hey, you need to do a 2-inch mill and a 2.5-inch overlay. Well, we've mentioned that to the inspectors and we bitched about it to each other and we bitched about it to this guy or that guy or the other guy. Well, finally one day I just walked right up to the engineer who designs the jobs and I said, hey, everybody's bitching about it. All these contractors, they need to start doing this. ODOT needs to start blah, blah, blah. We're all talking about it. And one day I just went up to the engineer who designs it and I say, hey, brother, have you ever considered like doing it this way? And he was like, oh, why's that? And I was like, well, it'd give us a better ride. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Consider it done. It's like what you're saying. It's not kissing ass. It's just figuring out who's in charge of what and making a relationship with them to where you can network with them.
Yeah.
That's my whole life, dude. You know, that's why whenever you brought that quote up before the show even started, it really resonated with me.
Yeah. That's why it hit home to me. That's why I put it down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. That's a different way to look at it.
Yeah. Well, it's just like whenever I was landscaping and I was in the backyard of the guy that I work for now, and he said, "Do you want to come work for me one day?" I was like, nah, at the time, right? But then I still had that relationship with him to call him up and say, "Hey, I actually want to consider this. Would you talk to me?" And he said, "Yeah."
That's like, you know, changing it from code enforcement to, you know, neighborhood services. Ah, okay. That's a lot better. It's no, it's just, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Building relationships. It's not politics.
Yeah.
It's we're building relationships.
Building relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good though. And I think that's that's one of those soft skills that construction workers do not do well. And a lot of just those hard, I can just picture them now, like people wearing Nemesis sunglasses with like a shaved head, just being like, "Yeah, I ain't doing none of that shit, kissing all that ass. The motherfuckers out there, they ain't going to get me doing none of that bullshit," you know? But it's like, open your mind up a little bit and you might go a little bit further in life.
Yeah. But like I said, we still need people to be where they're at. I mean, if they don't want to promote, that's fine. Other people will promote.
Well, this isn't all about promotion. I mean, you can still get better in your life. You can do what's better for your family, for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a bitter asshole.
You can look at those aspects also, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just get away from work and talk about just life in general, family and friends.
Yeah, even outside of it. I mean, again, you know, you might be in a band on the side and you want to get your fucking name in the newspaper. Well, who's in charge of that? Go make friends with them. Get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many people try all these different things in life, and the reason they don't get there is because they don't network properly. And
plus, the Ponca City News just got a shout out. So all, you know, tens of our listeners are going to they might even get a Ponca City News subscription because of us.
All 6 people who listen to this show.
So we just helped Ponca City News.
There you go. We just doubled their subscriptions.
Or people who currently have subscriptions might be getting rid of Ponca City News now because they found out we're associated with fuck.
Yeah, everybody who's associated with the Dirty and Driven podcast, it turns out, you know, people have lost their jobs, their
marriages,
families.
Yeah.
They become meth addicts.
Yeah. Swerving off the road while they're driving.
Yeah, dude, it's a dangerous deal. If you share the Dirty and Driven podcast, odds are you're probably going to be a wanted man.
And dude, if you are like family or friends to James or me, don't you dare share it or like it. Don't you dare.
Yeah. And you better sleep with one. And if you do, you better sleep with one eye open at night.
Yeah.
Because they're coming for you, man.
Gripping your pillow tight.
Yeah. Yeah. We're calling our friends out here. So if you don't share, if you don't share the show,
you're a hoe. Wait, no, that's somebody else.
Somebody else has that one. If you don't share the show, you can blow me.
I can't remember it.
I don't know. Anyways, this is a fun, laid back episode. I like it.
Nice.
I like it a lot, man. Been grinding hard out here. Guys, give us a 5-star review if you like the show. Even if you didn't like this episode, give us a 5-star review. If you did like this episode, give us a 5-star review.
Don't be last to share the cast.
That's it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all right.
5-star review.
5-star review. Yeah. Give us a 5-star review. If you like us and support us, that's a free way to support us, we were talking about earlier. And it's a great way to get the show going. So it's still growing. It's still getting better. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Guys, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of men and women who have died for you as we celebrate and remember Memorial Day. So be somebody that is worth dying for. And the way you're going to do that is if you go out and every single day you intentionally do something hard.
Well, by God.